It's showtime.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
You're not here, you missing out, because this show...
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, listen up. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
It's time for the Alliance Guys podcast.
This is Santo, and you're watching the Alliance Guys podcast on YouTube.
This is the world famous cheeseburger, and you're watching the Alliance Guys podcast here on YouTube.
This is Bruno Bob Evans, and you're watching the Alliance Guys podcast on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bullhead Brute, AJ Kazana, one half of the country gentleman from the National Wrestling Alliance, and you are watching the Alliance Guys here on YouTube.
Bah! 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 Hello, I'm Balaba, and you're listening to the Alliance Guys podcast. Bah! Bah! Bah!
Hey, Chris, that you made this debut?
Oh!
I'm Richard Holiday. That was my signature move, and you're watching the Alliance Guys podcast.
What is up, everybody? We're joined by two celebrities today, two superstars of the National Wrestling Alliance, two gentlemen who are stuck in a strange land, in a strange place. Mr. Alex Taylor, Mr. Jeremiah Plunkett. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Living the dream, brother. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. What happened? What are you guys doing in Toronto? Is that where you guys are at?
Oh, yeah, man. I guess the airplanes don't work here.
Yeah, they've been maintenance on it for about 3 hours now.
Oh, shit. Did you guys have a show last night?
No, we were flying in one today.
Oh.
I don't think we're going to make it, man.
Where were you supposed to be going?
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Oh, we're there again tomorrow, so we'll make it up to the people.
I'm sure you guys will. So a lot of I had some crazy travel last week too. What the hell's going on with these airlines? Who are you flying? Let's throw them under the bus.
Go ahead, Plucky. Throw them under the bus.
Well, I've been putting them over all day today because you get a free beer with each flight at Air Canada.
Air Canada, okay. I was on United and I didn't have a great experience, so we'll throw them both under the bus. Gentlemen, what is going on outside of the wrestling? What's happening with you guys? I mean, we know what's going on in Power. We see every week that your group, your stable is starting to fall apart. JP, we haven't seen you on our TV in a long time, but you're out there defending the Mid-American Championship. Let's talk about business. What's going on, gentlemen?
No, sorry, AT, you got more going on.
I mean, yeah, Southern Six thing, it's not going well right now. Silas and Kerry having a bit of a tiff, but they're going to settle in the ring, and I feel like after that, everything's going to be good. I'm not worried about it. We're boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a gate change announcement. Air Canada.
The gate change announcement.
Not us.
Okay. She said gate change 6'9". I was like, all right, man, it's business.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
No, but yes, Thrilly's right now. He's over. He's conquering Japan. Kerry's back holding down the States. I got to go up here, Canada, take over with Plunky. So I just like it's a worldwide takeover right now. And Plunky, he's Southern Six adjacent, so it's all good here.
In my heart and in my mind, he's always been part of the Six. I mean, maybe not officially on TV, but come on now.
I like to think of myself about a 6.5.
I mean, like, look, you guys have been running together for many, many years, going back to the Ill Begotten. And although the Ill Begotten has been done for a while, you guys are still teaming up quite regularly. As you see here, you guys are heading to Moose Jaw.
Yes, sir. I mean, there's a town to be made. Beers will be cold. We'll be there. Envelope's got to be fat, though.
What was that?
The envelope has to be fat. They got to be fat.
I thought you said something else. I was like, oh man, we can't talk about that on here. You're both married men. We can't be saying stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know what you thought I said, but
Yeah, that's not what I thought I heard. Anyways,
I think I hear Brian Idle in the background.
Well,
Big Popsky.
In the chat, they're saying Southern Six forever.
Yes, baby, forever.
I still got my shirt. I should have. If I knew you were coming on, I would have worn it.
Hey, if I knew I was coming on, I would have wore your shirt.
I appreciate that. Hey, so the dates that you're making out here in Moose Jaw, is Danny deals with you guys too? Is he around there somewhere? I know he
No.
runs with you guys when you go out there.
I mean, we love deals, but I don't think he can legally get into Canada.
Ooh, okay.
Not to put my man's business out there, but
yeah, I mean, I understand. Funky, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm living.
that
I don't want to say living the dream. I look exhausted. I'm looking at myself at the camera.
I was gonna say you actually look really good, man. I know you've been putting some time in the gym and getting more fit, and you're looking svelte.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm a little heavier than I'd like to be right now, but I'm putting in time. I start chasing numbers, and then I eat to chase the numbers, and then I put the weight back on and need to not chase those numbers.
And as somebody of myself too, I'm dieting too, and I'm trying to lose weight as well and get in better shape. Like, it's not about the number; it's about how you feel and how your clothes fit. You know, you start dropping shirt sizes and pant sizes, you know you're on the right path. Just
work on that tan, man. That's half of it.
See, this is a light thing, dude. I was literally in Aruba, man. I'm all tanned right now. It's just the lighting, I swear.
Oh, you're looking good, man. You're like 97 Hogan.
There it is.
Ooh.
That's what I was going for, brother. Give me that spray paint. We'll do the NWA belt right here. So, oh shit, sorry. So, what promotion were you guys supposed to be working at tonight?
Reaper.
Reaper
Pro Wrestling, yeah. Good company up here. They're doing big things.
Have you guys worked, or have either one of you worked there before?
I have been up here before. This is Plucky's first time.
Yep.
And
The Plucky's the jinx. Well, probably.
Is this your first time wrestling in Canada, Plunkett?
It is. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to get checked off the bucket list, and then I got a call.
Well, let's hope that flight takes off, right?
I mean, I'm already in Canada. I just have to fight somebody, I guess.
I mean, you guys could throw down with the guys behind the counter if they don't get your flight going.
You're good at something, never do it for free.
You know, one thing I will suggest to you guys, if for whatever reason your flight does get canceled, make sure you keep track of all your receipts, food, hotel, and car, because the airlines are entitled to compensate you for your delayed or not delayed, but canceled flights. If that, hopefully it doesn't, but if it happens, keep track of that.
Well, it's good
Yeah,
to know.
a similar story happened to me last week when we were coming home. Our flight got diverted to DC. They sent us to Virginia. We sat on the tarmac for like an hour. We got back to DC after the thunderstorm cleared out, and then they couldn't get staff to take the plane out. Like they just couldn't get enough people on the plane to service it. So they delayed it for like 3 hours and then finally just canceled it at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So we ended up having to check into a hotel and had to Uber to the hotel, and so they paid for everything, the food, or not paid for, but they reimbursed. So keep your receipts.
All right. Well, I don't know what you guys have on mind to talk about. But there's something I really want to talk to you about.
I want to hear it.
I wanted to bring this up last time I was on, but I thought, my first time, I don't want to make a bad impression. I want to talk to you about the first time I ever heard your show.
Uh-oh. Let's go.
The title of that episode was The Southern Six Equals Ratings.
I believe it.
Okay. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm going to listen to this. I want to hear somebody put me over. Now, in this episode, there's a lot of discussion of how 2 of the 3 members were going to be huge stars. And that other guy, Alex Taylor, he was the shits. And we didn't know why he was involved.
Wait,
It must be some kind of charity thing.
wait a minute.
Now, we're talking about 3+ years ago. So I just want to make sure the world knows that you're looking at a star, baby. I'm sitting in the Toronto airport wearing a Rollie, gold chain, world titles under my belt, Crockett Cup.
I don't recall anyone ever saying you were shit. I mean, even in the ill-begotten, like when that, I mean, let's be honest, I love you guys as a tag team, but they didn't do a whole lot with you guys, and you guys were carrying around a lot of extra weight there for a while. I never saw you as a weak link, at least me personally. In fact, when it was you and Rush, I mean, I think you were kind of carrying the weight there. I think you were carrying his weight.
Oh, he's top 5 worst wrestlers I've ever seen in my life, so it's not saying much.
And if anyone on this show said you were shit, obviously we're eating crow now because, like you said, you did win the Crockett Cup in 2024. You are a former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. You have won the NWA US Tag Team titles. And honestly, I still feel like there is a lot of room for growth for you. I don't even think you reached your ceiling yet within the NWA. I think there's a lot of potential for opportunities coming your way. I mean, you've got Alex Misery running around with the television title. You've got Mike Mondo with the national championship, and who knows, man? I mean, Kerry's challenging for that world's heavyweight title. What's to prevent you from challenging for that world's heavyweight championship?
Sky's the limit, baby. I should have printed off the transcript of that episode so I could read it to you.
Yeah,
what was the episode again? Because I'm going to find it for him and play it. What was the name of the episode again? I'm going to find it and play it for him.
The 7.6 equals ratings.
Okay, we're going to find that on YouTube. We're going to watch it next week, maybe.
Well, then we're all going to look like idiots. Like, oh, yeah, that Taylor guy, he's trash. I don't think anyone's ever said that about you, though. Like, that's a thing. And now we see.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
They cut you off, man.
Yeah. No. He had problems with his connection.
It's the plane and it's the Wi-Fi connection in the airport, man. It's not me. I didn't do nothing.
Did you ever hear the way we talked about Billy and Pollo Gamar at the beginning?
Say that again, DK.
Did you ever hear the way we talked about Real Billy and Pollo Gamar at the beginning when they first teamed up and came out?
I don't know if you guys heard them, but I can speak DK, so I'll translate. Did you ever hear us how we responded to the initial pairing of the world's heavyweight champion Thrillbilly and Pollo Del Mar?
No, I can't say that I did.
We weren't
sure
exactly.
I did, but my memory's terrible.
We didn't love it at first. Well, I didn't love it at first because I was like, "What the hell is this?" But it obviously, when you see it in action, it worked really well. I felt like that was one of the better duos at the NWA at that time. As a manager, Pollo was, eccentric and crazy, and then you had Thrillbilly who took everything very literal and serious, and it was a fun pairing. But I think at first we were like, "What's going on here?" I don't think we got it, but eventually when it got enough, we got to see more of it and got to embrace that connection. I feel like we enjoyed it a lot more. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the case with you, AT, but we don't bat 1,000 on this show. We're
It's all right, man. Even Tom Brady lost a couple Super Bowls.
The point I'm trying to make is.
Say it again, DK. It's hard to hear you.
I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is we're willing to change our minds.
Oh. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
No, it's a little grainy for me. I can't.
It's okay. What DK said is we understand that we are willing to change our minds on things.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. I ain't mad at nobody.
Oh, echo.
Am I going? Still.
You're here.
I think DK's doing his echo thing again.
We're gonna meet you for a second, DK. This isn't.
What's going on?
Did you mute
It has to
DK?
be a production nightmare.
Yeah, DK's muted.
Okay, so it was DK. And to
Yeah.
play the devil's advocate, DK's never liked Kerry Morton. So
That's true. That's true.
That I can understand. I love Kerry, but I understand why other people don't.
You know, and
you see my picture? Yeah. As long as I'm still here. My picture's black, but I can still hear you guys.
Okay. I got to see Kerry up close and personal on the Worlds of Vampire tour in Mexico. I went down there and I was hanging out with your boy Mecha Wolf with the band Monster Wolf.
Yeah.
And Kerry was out there taking his shirt off and spinning it around, and he was into it, man. And the other crazy thing is while we were there, Rocky Romero happened to be there too. Rocky Romero, obviously working with CMLL at the time, but he was also a former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. And I thought it was pretty cool to see Kerry and Rocky Romero at the same time at the same place. I was like, that would be kind of cool if you guys had a matchup. You're frozen, but we could hear you, or we did hear him.
He's refreshing.
Okay.
Sorry about all the technical glitches. Everything's going crazy.
You know what? It's cool because this is how it is in real life, man. We're just trying to chit chat, and we're having some tech issues. That's fine. But
man, Thrillbilly over at Cork and Hall. We're stuck in a Toronto airport.
the International Six.
Well, the International Six. I think that's the new name.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all from Tennessee.
Well, that's the wild part too, right? Like you guys are all from Tennessee. That's crazy that the reach from the NWA in Tennessee. I mean, we just lost Taylor. I mean, Plunky, you and I go way back, and I think DK might have even been there. No, he wasn't there. I take it back. But that night you did challenge for the 10 pounds of gold, and you faced Satoshi Kojima for that 10 pounds of gold. And we talked about it when you were on the podcast all those years ago. I mean, that was a big deal back then. And when looking back at it now, that night, that moment, that legacy, I mean, that's kind of served you to keep you, at least for the fans, like to know that you've been a big part of the NWA for quite some time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big thing. And in Tennessee, man, Tennessee's special in wrestling. I don't think a lot of people think about it. Actually, a shirt I'm wearing, and it's an Alex Taylor original. But them Tennessee boys are wild.
I like it. Where can I get one of those?
I'm discontinued now, man. I don't know. I can maybe dig one out the closet for you.
I'll hit up Danny Deals. I'm sure he can make me one.
You might, yeah. I'm telling you, best wrestlers in the world come from Tennessee.
100.
Who are your top five? Not counting yourselves.
Well, can I count Plunky? Because he's in my top five.
Not counting yourselves, so you can't count each other.
I know what both are number ones. Double J, baby.
Double J, of course. Thrillbilly Silas Mason.
All right.
Kerry Morton.
Damn.
Kenzie Page. Kylie Page. My top five.
I mean,
let's see, I've got Double J, King, Ricky, Real Billy. Who do I round that out with?
I didn't know if we were doing all time or current, but I might have a different list if we're going all time.
All time. You all time.
Double J. Thrillbilly. It's tough. Maybe narrow it down. Wildfire Tommy Rich.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. I always forget that he's from Tennessee. Yeah, Wildfire for sure.
Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's where I live.
So you grew up in the same town he's from?
I grew up in a town next to Hendersonville called Gallatin, Tennessee. Go Greenwave. But I made a little money in this world, so I moved over to the nicer part, Hendersonville.
Did you hear, like, when you were growing up and looking at the wrestling business, was Tommy Wildfire Rich a name that people always pointed out to you, or was that something you found out about later?
Well, he's reconnected, I'll say. Tommy Rich was always like mentioned. my grandparents were in a hotel in Nashville, so like they had a whole bunch of the coolest wrestlers stay there, and then later the USWA or CWA territory guys come through. So they talk about like Bobby Rich, Gorgeous George and stuff stayed there, so they saw a lot of people come through. But yeah, Tommy Rich is definitely always mentioned, especially among the prior generation.
What's your favorite memory about Trent Van Dees in the Midwestern Tennessee board? And does AT know about that?
I don't think so. I think probably not. That used to be the only way wrestling news got around this area. And, man, everybody was up in arms over that. Man, that everybody got mad. It was so funny. I've never seen one guy make so many people mad.
That was when I was covering, because we've always covered the territories going back to the old NWA, and that was really the only place I could find anything about Tennessee wrestling was Trent Van Dees. So I mean, for good or bad or whatever it was, I mean, you got to give him credit for kind of keeping that history alive. Because I mean, the thing is, people don't understand that the advent of the internet, it stopped people like doing like magazine publications or newspaper clippings about wrestling.
It wasn't God's plan for me to be on this podcast. And when you hide.
So if you wanted me to relay this message, because it keeps kicking him off, it wasn't God's plan for him to be on the podcast tonight. But if you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, that thing I can't move. I'm sitting down.
Well, I mean, he can always scoot in if you want.
Actually, you know what? People are moving. I think they've moved our gate. So,
oh shit.
We got to figure out what happened. Appreciate talking to you guys and doing this run in.
It was our pleasure, brother.
Entertaining us. Y'all be good. Take care.
Have a good one.
Later, guys. Bye.
Later. All right. Wiccan, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. What a wild way to start the show. Wasn't anticipating that. Wasn't anticipating the ill-begotten, the ghost of Christmas past there. Having trouble from their flight. They were supposed to go to Moose Jaw, which I think is in Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm not really great on my Canadian geography, and Tim's not here to correct me. But good to see those boys. Hopefully I get to run into at least AT at the 78th anniversary show. JP probably won't be there, so that's a bummer.
Hey, Jay?
Yeah?
Do you know how Canadians spell Canada?
No.
C-A-N-A-D-A.
That's beautiful. DK, I'm trying to unmute you. Oh, you muted yourself. That's why. Okay. Well, what's up, DK?
Speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
No, you stay out of this, Jake.
No.
What are we talking about tonight? Why are we here?
Yes.
Why are we here? Okay.
Why are we here?
No.
Well, the first reason why we're here is because our Worlds Heavyweight Champion, who was competing in Japan earlier this morning, we have a little clip we're going to show you right now. Stay tuned. That's the wrong clip. This one. Wait, what the heck? All right, we'll go with this. We'll go with this one. Hold on a second here. What's going on now?
He's trying to play a screenshot.
All Japan Pro Wrestling just found out what the entire world already knows, and that is, I am the biggest man who's ever lived. I cannot be beaten. I am the NWA Worlds Heavyweight Champion, and I am the Thrill Billy himself, Silas Mason. But the more I talk, the more I find out that you people here in Japan don't understand a damn word that comes out of my mouth. So let me dumb it down for you. Miyahara! Watashi wa saiko desu! Shiste! Ome wa Shinderu.
I don't speak Japanese, but that sounded like he called it out the All Japan great Miyahawa. Is that how you say it, Jaden?
Miyahawa. His accent needs some work. He's way more Mr. Miyagi than Japanese. You know, in Japan, accents, where you put your accent on the words makes the word different. So he has to be careful with that. Yeah. But yeah, that was great to hear it. He is, first of all, I love the 1970s Charles Nelson Riley sunglasses he was wearing. Brett Butler, you know, had the same ones.
Sure.
It was like Match Game in Japan. But the promo was great. He is custom made for All Japan Pro Wrestling. I will say it forever. He's the illegitimate son of Terry Gordy. Terry Gordy spent some time in Tennessee, so he is so perfect for All Japan Pro Wrestling. And according to the Discord, the matches are already up. So I'll have to find a way to try to watch it because I'm interested in seeing it myself.
Well, if you go to the Discord, they have some suggestions on ways to find it. Real quick, there was one more clip I wanted to show. Let's see if I can do it here. I'm going to try it. Looks like it's working. See it again. And that's pretty dope.
Was that the Japanese version of Fred Rubenstein in the back?
Probably. Did we lose DKM?
I hear the background noise, so he's probably still there. Oh, never mind.
Oh, man, we're going to have a good show today. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. Our World's Heavyweight Champion went to All Japan Pro Wrestling. If you've been following Silas Mason on social media, you could see that he's been hanging out with Talos. They've been ripping it up at some bars, going out and getting some steaks. I would not be shocked if we see him show up with the Riviera jacket when he comes back for the 78th anniversary show, which is where the NWA is heading next. I mean, they just finished up with Hard Times last week on June the 6th out there at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of cool stuff is happening for the NWA. Our good pal James H. Jackson just said, I'm a longtime All Japan Pro Wrestling fan, so I have a subscription to All Japan Pro Wrestling TV. James,
I used to.
You have quite a collection of subscriptions, which I think is great, man. I've always told people, if you like something, support it. If you like pro wrestling, if you like a certain promotion, support it. They definitely need your help. You know, every wrestling promotion wants your business. They want your eyeballs. So if there's something you find out there that you're enjoying, subscribe, comment, like, follow. And if they have a paid subscription and you're into it, you know, pay for it. Because that's what, you know, go ahead.
I would say, hey, careful about mentioning eyeballs. Alex, you might have a Mr. Misery show up at your house or whatever.
Speaking of which, he's going to be joining me on Tuesday for the pre-party.
Pre-party! Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, we on this past Tuesday, we had Saleh Taylor, relative of the Persian prince. Not Persian. Jesus Christ. Polynesian. The Polynesian.
Completely different part of the world there, Jay.
Oh, you know, I would like to blame it on the week, but it's just me. I don't have an explanation.
I blame avocado.
What do you... I haven't even had oh, wait. No, I did have guacamole yesterday. Okay.
Jay?
Well, you're right. Hey, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Jeremiah just said, if that was terrible, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell him, no, man, that was fun.
Yeah. Always nice to have surprise guests, even if Alex Taylor calls you out. Now we're going to have to watch that episode.
I don't think I ever talked shit about Alex Taylor. I liked Alex Taylor.
I don't remember. I might have been, don't even remember this episode, so I might not have been part of it then.
No, I think you were.
3 years ago? I might have been my hiatus.
Well, Southern Six, like, that wasn't 3 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago, because that's when they formed.
So look it up. You're on YouTube?
I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find it.
Give us a date. Only one I remember being shit talked on was DK does not like Kerry Martin.
He doesn't, and I do. So, we might have. I know we talked a lot about Kerry Morton. I don't think any of us ever said anything negative about Alex Taylor. Let's see. Southern 6 equals ratings. Let's see. Okay, so it was 2 years ago.
Okay.
It was, and here, I'm going to put the link in the chat so you guys can go watch it yourselves later.
Please take all those screenshots of Jake Trash and Alex Taylor.
Yeah, please. Please do. Because, I don't think I did. Now, if I did, I'll apologize. Look, I'm willing to admit, but I've always thought Alex Taylor was a great competitor. Even, like I said, in the Ill Begotten, I mean, he was, you remember they put him with Rush Freeman and Captain Yuma. And slowly, they got rid of Yuma, replaced him with Jeremiah Plunkett, and then slowly eliminated Rush Freeman from the group. And then James Jackson, just to accentuate the point about All Japan Pro Wrestling, it's a great deal, only $587 US for the subscription, and that gets you all the All Japan Pro Wrestling events. That actually is not a bad price, and I got to be honest, if this relationship continues with the NWA and All Japan Pro Wrestling, I might be interested in getting that. I remember when Rob Conway defended the 10 pounds of gold in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I subscribed to New Japan World for that very reason, because I thought we were going to see a lot more title matches happening in New Japan. And there were a handful. There weren't a lot, but if that All Japan NWA relationship continues, I'd be interested in subscribing for that. DK,
I was like, DK back to vacuum his house. DK?
Devin?
Yes.
How is you?
Half asleep and half dead.
It sounds like it.
Pretty much. It's been a long week.
I hear you on that one. We're all experiencing some long weeks this week. What did you think about Alex Taylor and Jeremiah Plunkett jumping on?
That was cool.
DK, do you remember shit talking Alex Taylor?
What?
Do you remember shit talking Alex Taylor?
Probably. I mean, I don't think any of us thought Alex Taylor was. Oh, okay, let's be honest. It wasn't Alex Taylor. For me, I was shitting on Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton. And
well, you were always shitting on Kerry Morton for sure, and Jaden said that when you.
And them not being in the same league as Thrillbilly. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we shit talked him at the time. But like I pointed out, we're always willing to change our minds.
Now, I don't remember. I remember you guys not liking Thrillbilly and Pollo together. Was I on that train? Because I always seem to remember that unusual combination was something.
I honestly don't remember. And looking back,
it was more I didn't get it. I didn't understand. Like I remember saying. So the idea is that we have a drag queen that everybody knows is a drag queen except for Silas, who doesn't seem to know that it's a drag queen. And so...
Wait, what?
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Letting the light shine in here. But, I mean, I do remember that. And I don't think we thought Thrillbilly was special one direction. I don't think we thought he was bad. I just don't know that we thought he was special. Until we watched him wrestle, what's his name? The former American Wolf ROH champion.
Davey Richards?
Yeah. Whoever Eddie Edwards' partner was. And so when we said, that was when we watched that we flipped. And then they actually gave him more time on TV and let them start talking. And then that's when we really realized that we had stars in front of us.
Well, I think for me, I think I remember the grouping of Pollo and Thrillbilly, and I remember like kind of being uncomfortable with it, especially when they spit the chew in the other person's mouth. But that's also when it got to be really good. And that whole thing there became, it was awkward at first, but then you start understanding what they were trying to do, and to me, it got better.
Well, I think Pollo even acknowledged that, you know, they were kind of thrown together last minute and they had to make something of it. So, you know, it's going to take a little time for two people to sync and coordinate. But, you know, go ahead.
I remember, one thing I do remember is I think I said out loud that it was two people thrown against the wall and they turned chicken shit into chicken salad.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because they had no idea what to do with either of them. They just know, all right, we got these two talents. Let's, you know, it's kind of like Jay when he likes to book every black wrestlers as a tag team.
Yes. I don't know why Jay does that. But.
First of all, I've never booked anything yet.
Yet.
I will point out that in IHWE, half my champions are white, half my champions are black. So apparently I don't like Latinos nor Asians.
I have a problem with Latino and black people as tag teams because both times the Dog had them, they both screwed over the company.
I remember one of them.
There's two of them.
What was the other one?
I don't remember the names of either of the teams, so I'll have to figure that one out. But
there was the team that kind of looked like LFO, right?
That was the first one, yeah.
I remember that one.
And then there was the team that defeated the Old School Empire and then decided that they would rather go be marks and on a pre-show with the Hardy Boys and pretend it was my fault, or Dog's fault, I mean.
So wait, are you telling me they didn't? They were just enjoying the show, or they actually were against the Hardys?
No, they were on the pre-show, but somehow that was going to be a career opportunity. I just remember a little memory. They blamed Dog for they tried gaslighting Dog into whatever. And then when eventually they got called out on it,
that's wild.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm all about personal accountability. Like in going back to Alex Taylor. Like if at any point in the time that we've been covering Alex Taylor, if we said that he wasn't a good athlete or a good talent, like obviously we have to walk that back now. We take the accountability. If one of us said it, DK said that, we've always been willing to change our minds. And I'm saying right now that I'm not 100% accurate either, right? I've been wrong about people who I thought were going to be stars a lot. I thought Jordan Clearwater was going to be a star. That's not saying that, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. And fuck you, man.
To quote Gentleman Chris Adams, you're making a mistake, and to top it all off, you're wrong. That's an actual promo. That's actual promo he did.
Say it again, slower.
You're making a mistake, and to top it all off, you're wrong. Not wrong, but wrong.
I've just connected our TikTok stream too. So what's up, Keith, who's watching on TikTok? I want to say what's up to James, Matthew Underwood. I thought I saw Noob was in here. Jam and Music Man was here. Hope you guys are still checking us out. And if not, hope you'll check us out later. We're talking NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. This is the Alliance Guys podcast, a presentation of alliance-wrestling.com. And every Thursday night when I'm not on vacation or going to a graduation, we talk about the National Wrestling Alliance. We talk about pro wrestling in general. We steer clear of the main two promotions of WWE and AEW. We like to talk about the NWA. Sometimes we'll talk about some of the independents, like Iconic Heroes Wrestling Excellence or Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. Sometimes we'll talk about the United Wrestling Network. But our main wheelhouse is the NWA. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about MLW and the NWA and the parallels that are there between them. We'll get to that in a little bit. We do have some late breaking news. I guess this is not late breaking. I guess this broke 2 weeks ago. But Alex Misery is now the NWA World Television Champion. Won the title in kind of a precarious way where he pinned Wrecking Ball Legursky, and then the other two men who were in the scramble match got on top to pin Wrecking Ball Legursky, and the referee awarded Alexander Miserable the television championship. DK, have you ever seen anything like that in a scramble match?
Not that was single fall. You'll see it sometimes in elimination style, but not in a single fall. I guess since we're talking about it, I'll go ahead and say I thought the right decision was made, or the logical decision was made. Misery was the first one on top of him, and was directly on top of him. So, I mean, there's no disqualification. There's no, or the sense of other people being in the ring is accepted. Now, why he wouldn't break up the pin as opposed to jump on and try to make, the pin is beyond me. That's where the logic fails. But for what they did and how it ended, it made sense that Misery was correctly awarded the title. I don't think there's controversy in that.
Controversy.
You get in controversy. It makes money.
What was that?
I think that was supposed to be a New Jersey accent, and he needs to go back to watch some more videos of pizza girls making pizza to get that better.
Supposed to be an old man accent.
Oh.
Okay.
So you did your own accent?
Where you're missing the teeth and all that, which, by the way my things are going with me, I'm going to be that old man with no teeth here before too long.
Maybe you can get summer teeth. Some are here, some are on the floor.
Oh my God.
Well, right now I have most in my mouth, but some are missing, so.
I can't say none. I got one knocked out, and one knocked out by a bottle for my own stupidity by dropping a bottle in my face. So it happens.
You gotta stop dropping bottles on your face, man. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, it was definitely unintentional. It was just lost my grip on the slip on the bottle. It was wet, and instead of landing somewhere nice, it just hit me right in the teeth.
Damn.
And then the other one was knocked out in a. I was doing choreography for a movie, and the girl never wanted to actually practice the choreography. And during the actual taping, she punched me right in the face and knocked my tooth out. And we continued the fight scene because it looked cool. I mean, it looked great, but she was more worried about, instead of practicing her fight scene, she was worried about laying on the back and trying to get good with the directors.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
I don't know. How did it work out for her?
I don't know what she's done since.
Oh, okay. Well, did you know that I was in a movie once?
No.
In fact, I've been a part of 3 movies.
Are you sure?
Was it a trilogy?
No.
Debbie Does Dallas 1, 2, and 3?
No, nothing like that. I was in the NWA documentary. Do you guys remember that one?
Yes.
And then I was also in the 7 Levels of Hate documentary.
Okay.
Yes.
And the last one was a project called The 13, and it was like an independent short that I was the music producer for.
Oh, nothing.
And the person that made that short, who I was working for, is now I forgot what the show is called, but he's actually running a show on CBS right now.
Oh.
Is this not interesting?
Was it a CSI? Because that's a good odds.
No, he is running the show. You know the girl from Deadpool? The girlfriend from Deadpool?
Marina Baccarin or whatever her name is?
I think so.
The sources from the He-Man movie?
Yeah. Her name is Morena Baccarin, yeah. She does a show called Sheriff County, and he's one of the writers for that.
That's such a CBS style show.
Yeah. Yeah, and for some reason, James H. Jackson said Sean Mega is somehow banned on the chat, and I don't know why it is. I've never banned Sean Mega. Sean Mega is a friend of the show, and I got to figure out how to unban him. But I don't have my.
I blame Matthew Underwood. It's got to be his fault.
No, because Matthew did. No, not not on the Discord, in the chat, and I don't have my tablet ready. Sean Mega, if you're listening, I'm gonna fix this. I can't do it right now. I don't have my tablet with me. Give me one more week. By this time next week, you should be free and clear. I don't know why it would ban him, and I don't know how to unban him. So I will look into it.
DK banned people recently. Maybe it's his fault.
On the live?
Yeah.
Did you DK?
No, that's what I'm saying. I haven't even actually been on the YouTube site while we've been doing this since we switched softwares. So
let me see. Maybe I can do it this way. I don't know.
Well, while you're working on that, crap! I wanted to say something I forgot. Dagnabbit.
Jaden,
What was that, DK?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
So
I remembered now. Go ahead.
That you have a new dog belt?
New dog championship. Belt hold your pants up. Yes, it's absolutely gorgeous, and a good friend of Dog NIHWE helped create it. DK, do you remember the name of that group that helped create it?
Bob's Burgers? No, that's not it.
Bob's Burgers?
Well,
Damn it,
I don't remember who helped create it, but I do remember that it was made by Royal Belts.
Yes.
So it was one of those things. I've actually been lucky enough to have seen the belt in person, and it's one of those things where pictures do not do it justice.
You were very unsure about the blue and lettering and the white leather, but even you turned around to that one.
Yeah. The blue lettering I thought might pop, and it did, but boy, it just the color, the true color, which is kind of a brassy gold, doesn't show well in pictures, and you don't get the depth of it, but man, in person, it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous belt.
And that's a perfect segue, because I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say you could have seen it live if you were at the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators event this past Sunday, June 14th, at Big Bill's Barbecue for Big Bill Barbecue Bash, because it was a great night and really, 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 really hot, both the crowd and the weather.
Did you get sunburned?
Oh, yeah. I was more red than the background of this chat right now.
Oh, my God.
And I had sunscreen on. I had good sunscreen on, and I still got burnt. I was more burnt than 15 hippies.
Wait, what did you just say?
I was more burnt than 15 hippies.
Jesus. What does that even mean?
You don't know?
See you later. Anyway, did I ever tell you about the year I went to SeaWorld?
In San Diego?
No, we have one in San Antonio.
Okay, no. Tell me about it.
It was a great trip. We went down the night before, stayed in the hotel, spent the entire day at SeaWorld, then spent the night at the hotel again before we came back home. Nice leisurely 3-day kind of trip. And I wore all my sunblock, and I was not sunburned at all, and I was so proud of myself until 2 weeks later.
What happened 2 weeks later?
Somebody we knew was having a birthday party at the local pool down in Cleveland. And I originally was not going to get out or get in the water. But we ended up with our then teenage niece. She's 30 something now, so my life is ending. But and she wouldn't get in the water basically because it was a bunch of kids and a bunch of adults. And so I said, I'll go with you in the water and stuff like that. I got so effing sunburned. I mean, I literally was glowing red. I could not sleep that night because anything that I touched while I was laying down and that was burned hurt. And it was just, I think I think it took about 4 days before I came close to feeling, DKM normal. It was one of the worst experiences. It was literally the worst burn I've ever had.
I love how I said DKM normal, by the way. And yeah, I had something similar. We did a wrestling event at the Harmony in the Park. It was at a giant park with no trees. They had trees, just not where we were. And it was 106 degrees that day in August, I think. And we had a black wrestling ring. And I wasn't wrestling in it, but I was covered. I had a shirt on. I had a shirt that was long sleeve and a hat. And I got sunburn on my hands. I got sunburn underneath the shirt. And where the hat was, there was 4 dots on the hat. I had 4 giant red dots on my head. I looked like a Dragon Ball.
An airbender?
No, the Dragon Ball Z, because you know how they have the 4-star Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
You're thinking of Avatar. Completely different. I could see that, though. But, yeah, I was burnt so bad. My hands were red. My under the shirt was pink. And my head was white with 4 red dots on it from the sunlight getting through the hat.
We were, this past week, I was in Aruba with my family. We spent 4 out of the 5 days in the water at the beach. One particular day, I had a really bad migraine, so I just kind of stayed in a cabana, and I was cool, no problem.
What does cold have to do with this?
Boom, boom. Then the one day we were out on the sea, and we were on what basically like a pirate ship, and there was like a canopy over a section of the ship, and I thought, well, I'm going to be under the canopy, or I'm going to be wearing a life vest when I'm in the ocean. I don't need to put sunblock on. I'm going to be fine. And sure enough, man, I got sunburnt. And I don't normally avoid sunblock, but I just didn't think I'd need it, right? Not only did I get sunburned, but I also lost my wedding ring out in the Caribbean Ocean. So if anyone finds a wedding band out in the Caribbean, that'd be great. Let me know.
You can count on it.
And Jaden, you keep popping in and off. Are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah, I was trying to send something to the Instagram. I'm sorry, to the Facebook page so you guys can put it up. But every time I go over, it shuts me off. So just heads up, I'm going to move that over again.
All right. Well, if you get dropped off, I'll bring you back on.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah. So I guess what we're saying is make sure to use your sunblock. It's not just a crazy song; it's a good life advice. So what we were going to talk about, this show's kind of gone off the rails. Earlier in the show, we were talking to Alex Taylor and Jeremiah Plunkett, both of whom are now stranded in the north of the border. And so we're hoping that they will be making their booking tomorrow night, because it doesn't look like they're making their booking for tonight. The other thing that we were going to talk about, Thrillbilly Silas Mason defending the 10 pounds of gold in All Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the 3rd time since 1989 that this has happened. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defended back in 1989. He took the big gold belt to All Japan Pro Wrestling, and then 2 years ago, EC3, right about the same time, right about now, took the title to All Japan Pro Wrestling and defended at Corrigan Hall. And of course, earlier today, or earlier this morning for us here in the United States, Silas Mason defended against now I forgot his opponent's name. That's great. Well, he defended the title in All Japan Pro Wrestling. The match is now available on the All Japan Pro Wrestling Network. You can check it out. There's a lot of clips and ancillary content from that match that you could find on X or on Instagram with Silas Mason's voyage to the land of the rising sun. I encourage everyone to not only follow our World's Heavyweight Champion Silas Mason, but check out some of that content, because it's not very frequently that you see the 10 pounds of gold in All Japan. And it sounds like this might be a precursor to something bigger. He did call out, Jaden, help me out with the name.
I don't know who he called out. Miyahara.
Didn't he call out Miyahara, the former All Japan Triple Crown champion? Isn't he mostly considered the ace of All Japan Pro Wrestling?
He was one of my favorites. He was one of the reasons when I used to have the All Japan network. He's one of the people I liked. There was a couple of them I liked. Not Tanahashi. Was it Tanahashi? I'm drawing blanks right now. It wasn't
Tanahashi.
Yes, New Japan. Yeah, never mind. I'm thinking of, he reminded me a lot of him. I just can't think of his name right now. But there were some really good wrestlers from All Japan Pro Wrestling that when I used to be watching regularly. I can't think of any of them at the moment. My brain's like, what? But yeah. I hope I hope Silas Mason makes multiple trips. The only thing I don't understand is why they only brought him in for one day. They couldn't get a weekend out of him.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, and I don't understand why they wouldn't have done that. But maybe they just don't have the availability to have him. And then our boy Dodie, the birthday boy, he just said, "Oh wait, Miyahara is not a former; he's still Triple Crown champion."
Yeah.
Excuse me, Miyahara is still the Triple Crown champion. Sorry, Dodie. I know that the last time I was really kind of following All Japan, he had lost the title. So forgiveness, please. I did not realize he had regained it, but that's pretty intense, man. If you're talking about Silas Mason versus Miyahara for if it's not gonna be, but if they put the Triple Crown versus the 10 pounds of gold, I mean that would be a very intense match and something that I think I would like to see. I mean, what about you, DK? Is that a matchup you think would be something that we could get in the future?
I hope so. Something I'd like to see.
See, this is an opportunity. To the common wrestling fan, All Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't mean anything. To your fat casual fan, to your regular person, the guy the lady who is looking for Murder She Wrote reruns that ends up on NWA, it might not mean something, to them. But with good marketing, this could be a big deal. Japan's still an international country. It's still a foreign country. Go there, have it with a good 10 pounds of gold style video as I'm looking down at James Jackson Jr. It's true. They would have had like a good 10 pounds of gold series promoting this on Instagram instead of doing stupid skits, they could be doing this, promoting things. It looks like I assume the skits are still gone. They could be promoting this and making it seem like a big deal. Anything can be made a big deal as long as you have the talent and a good person to publicize it, and it can be used to grow the importance of, grow importance of the NWA Championship. Now I just thought of something too. A lot of Tennessee guys are going foreign places. I mean, we were talking about Taylor and Plunkett in Canada and Silas in Japan. It wasn't too long ago that the Country Gentlemen defended the NWA World Tag Team Championships in Europe.
That's right. That's again, think about where the NWA was just even a few years ago. Post-pandemic or pre-pandemic, you had Nick Aldis take the 10 pounds of gold all around the world, right? The only place he didn't go was Japan. But we're seeing the champions, and even not the roster itself there is this now perceived value associated with the NWA, and it's a realized value when you're seeing guys like Alex Taylor and Thrillbilly Silas Mason before he won the World's Heavyweight Championship to wrestle in the UK, Taylor and Plunkett in Canada just wrestling as a duo, but as representatives of NWA, the World's Heavyweight Champion, the second time in 2 years that 10 pounds of gold has been defended in All Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, that speaks volumes about where people see the NWA brand right now. And of course, Alex Misery says the television is being held hostage. And, he says it's being held hostage. I'm saying the right guy won. I'm saying the right guy won that title. And on this Tuesday, Alex Misery will be on the pre-party. This will be the second time that I've had a chance to talk to Alex. And I'm hoping that we could have a conversation about the championship and what his plans are and where he he sees himself going forward. But we'll talk about that on Tuesday. All Japan Pro Wrestling Unhinged. I mean, it does seem at the very least that there are some seeds being planted that we could have more of an NWA All Japan Pro Wrestling relationship forming. I mean, Talos and his partner, the Titans of Calamity, winning the
Ayame
Crockett Cup. Oh yeah, that's right, Ayame. Them winning the tournament, and they have a future shot at the Country Gentlemen for those World Tag Team titles, and they are currently the All Japan Tag Team Champions. And then Thrillbilly coming there, and they do an annual junior heavyweight tournament, and as Dodie points out, Kerry or Colby or Misery to the All Japan Pro Wrestling junior tournament. That would be a lot of fun too. And I mean, there's a wealth of opportunity that could happen. Whether it does or not, that's not really up to us to say. But I feel like that there's potential for some pretty cool stuff to happen.
Mr. Miserable, I have a favor to ask of you. There's never been a television champion who's regularly defended the TV title on the territory's television. I know there's quite a few of them now that have TV out there. Joe Kazana Promotions has the form of TV, World League Wrestling, and Duke City Championship Wrestling, and I think the Texas Style Wrestling, the NWA Texas, one of them, has it also.
Yeah.
Please, if you can do something that's never been done, defending on the television championship on every territory television show there is out there. It's I hate when the TV title is defended on a random house show. It's a TV title. Never should do that. That's the worst thing you can do. I hate it. It's not on TV. It shouldn't be on a house show. Alicia? Hello?
No, I hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said so that's why I was making sure. But yeah, he shouldn't.
Go ahead.
I hate when the TV titles depend on a house show, but the television channels, the television stations around the country, all the different territories, and even if it's not an NWA territory, like NWA adjacent, or maybe something like Ohio Valley Wrestling, I think that'll be awesome. Alex Misery is we've been fans of him. We've become a big fan of him, and I mean, I'm sure Jay talked trash about him sometime because he apparently talks trash about everybody. But this is something he can do that really makes him step out, that makes him to do something really awesome. And I mean, I know Brian Idol tried, but he can succeed and have himself defended on every television program that the NWA has. And again, anything else that has a television, anybody that has a television station, Ohio Valley Wrestling, anywhere else where television is out there, defend it. Use that championship to spotlight your talent and help yourself, and really show everybody else what we have always known, and Jay's recently found out about.
Why the hell are you? I've been a Misery supporter since day one.
At least since he threatened you in the podcast.
No, even before that, because he was the guy that I liked that was in the Lost. I wasn't a big fan of the group, but I liked Misery. Misery loves company, and on this Tuesday he'll be joining me on the pre-party. But he is this Saturday wrestling for Viral Pro in Augusta. It's his second title defense. Josh Magnum will experience the Unhinged Enigma, and personally, we saw. Mike Mondo defend the national title on Memphis Wrestling. We saw Thrillbilly defend the world title on Memphis Wrestling. Hell, we even saw the Country Gentlemen show up in Memphis Wrestling. I would love to see Alex Misery defend the TV title on Memphis if that's a possibility. And, these are just pie in the sky hopes and dreams, right? But I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Open challenge for you to do that. You have the talent, you have the skill, you have the marketability. Just send some eyeballs to random promoters and make them book you out of here.
And then the other thing too is I know as I was speaking to Saleh Taylor this past Tuesday on the pre-party, he had mentioned that all of the champions from the NWA Power are welcome in New Mexico at Duke City Championship Wrestling, and he extensively invited Alex Misery out to a future show. So hopefully we'll see something pop off with that at some point. And then Misery says, I got my cowboy boots to stomp out anyone who wants it. I love it, man. Misery, God bless you, man. I'm excited to see what happens next for you.
Is his championship black strapped, white strapped, or red strapped?
It's still red strap.
Okay.
And real quick, I want to get to some of the comments that our pal King Sean Mega is making on TikTok because I haven't been able to see him on YouTube. But he says that I think Silas is growing facial hair, his look and persona. Okay, that's what he said there. Then he said Talos is the unsung hero. And in a way, it's true. I mean, if Talos didn't go to All Japan Pro Wrestling, I don't know that this door would have been open for the NWA. I mean, honestly, we know that EC3 did it first, and that happened with help from Dory Funk Jr. I don't know what the continued door opening for the NWA to All Japan is, but it seems like Talos has kept that door open for others to come. Then Sean Mega also points out that all the territory schedules have to line up with Power. I don't think we're ever going to see that because Power is on such a delay, and the territories benefit from having up-to-date content on their YouTubes and live events. They need to be symbiotic between their live events and the television. And then Sean Mega also points out that Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling is another promotion with TV. And yeah, I mean, that'd be cool too. And then Dodie says Thrilbilly versus Suwama will be his dream match.
That'd be a good one.
What's that?
That would be a good one.
Power and size, I think that would be absolutely fun to watch. And then Dodie says, yeah, Talos is our man. Thank you, Talos.
Jay, we were talking recently about the results for the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators event that happened this past Sunday. Do you happen to have a nice little graphic so we can read over the results?
I can read over the results. Do you want the graphics on the show, or can I just read over the results?
Well, why don't you read over every match? We'll talk about it real quick.
Okay, well, so this past weekend, the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, in cooperation with Bill's Barbecue, had an event celebrating Bill's Barbecue. And
Big Bill's Barbecue.
What's that?
Big Bill's Barbecue.
Big Bill's, excuse me. On my graphic right here, it just says Bill's Barbecue, so I apologize for reading it incorrectly. I'm like the anchor man. If you hand me something to read, I'm just going to read it verbatim.
It is Bill's Barbecue, but we called him Big Bill because we met a little Bill.
Okay. The Dog Tag Team Championships were on the line when Primal Fear faced off against Dylan Mesh and Connor Schaefer. I got to see the end of that match on TikTok, and we had the champions retain those titles. Primal Fear. Jaden, you were there. You got to see it. How did the fans feel about Primal Fear? What did they feel about Schaefer and Mesh?
They don't like Schaefer and Mesh. They're not very popular anywhere they go. I don't think Dylan Mesh's own mother likes them. And I know nobody likes Connor Schaefer except for Dylan Mesh and vice versa. I don't even think Vinny likes either of them personally, but yeah, you never know. But no, there was a good tag team match. Dylan has wrestled Primal Fear before, and Connor is kind of newer to the tag team scene. They've gotten some impressive wins. They've wrestled some impressive opponents, and they've got a shot at the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Tag Team Championship. Primal Fear did come out victorious, but that was a good hot opening match. It was only about 85 when that match started, and by the end of the night, it was quite warmer. So it was a good hot match, and it brought the heat to the crowd, and unfortunately, it brought the heat to the rest of the night or afternoon.
So then that takes us to the next match, which was Brian Simmons and Mike Goldstein. And I don't know much about Brian Simmons or Mike Goldstein, so tell me a little bit about both these guys and how that match play out.
They're both originally from Vineland. What happened was Patch came out talking about how he's the commissioner for the evening or the afternoon. And then he introduced Chio Frost, who used to manage Patch and Vinny the Fixer as part of the Old School Empire originally. And Chio was talking about the history of Vineland, New Jersey, how the WWF would wrestle there, how the WWF, and how DTW, damn, that's wrestling. It's been a good 6 years, 8 years, or something like that, with no champions, just putting on cards and doing really well. Had some big stars and some big crowds at the old Vineland Middle School, and that was the history. And then Mike Goldstein, who was trained by a former wrestler also from Vineland, Chio's old partner JoJo, came out and was basically trash talking Patch and trash talking Chio, calling him a bunch of old dinosaurs. And Patch almost beat him up himself, because that's the last thing you want to do is tick off Patch. Patch forgot, though, that he signed an agreement that he wouldn't cause any physicality. So instead of beating up Goldstein itself, he had a friend of Chio's come out in Byron Simmons. He was there visiting family, and he was already, he showed up saying, "Hey, I got my gear, I got my music." He actually doesn't live in Vineland anymore, but he was there visiting, and he decided to show up because Chio was there. And Byron Simmons took on Mike Goldstein. They had a match. The crowd was into both Vineland wrestlers. They were Goldstein was talking about how he's the best thing to happen to Vineland since all the AI data centers were being built there.
Oh my
gosh. To the chagrin of those in Vineland, New Jersey. And Byron Simmons came out on top. Fans popped, threw some babies in the air, and ate some barbecue.
Nice. That takes us to the next match, where we had the Henrik defeating Jerry. Is it Jerry? Am I saying that right? Jerry
Swirls. Yeah. Jerry Swirls. The with 3 E's, the Hendrick, is actually on a bit of he started off coming out. He was trying to work his way in dog. He's actually from Estonia, legitimately.
Oh.
Didn't know Estonia was a legitimate country until I met him. I always thought it was one of those made up ones they have on like cartoons and stuff like that. But yeah, he came to dog and was got himself booked a couple times on card, and then working his way through Mala. And he's been going to the gym. You can tell he's been working out. You can tell he's been taking his creatine and his HMB and his peptides, and taking his GNC Sport multivitamin. And he's come a long way. And he's been practicing. He's been learning, and you can see his improvement. He's been working. That very weekend he wrestled Friday in what was it? Maine or one of those New England countries. I don't know. They all look alike. I have to ask what's his name. Vermont. That's what it was. Vermont. He wrestled in Vermont. And then he wrestled in New York on Saturday. Then he wrestled in Vineland, New Jersey on Sunday. Absolutely exhausted. You could tell the poor guy was beat. And then Jerry Swirls was there. He was getting a tryout for dog. And we asked him to impress. And he put on an impressive performance against the Henrik. And Henrik came out on top.
Real quick, King Sean Mega over on TikTok said, would Dog book the TV champion?
If he was ever in the area, yeah. It wouldn't be a TV championship match, because I absolutely hate the fact because we don't have TV, but if we had TV, he would even let him, they would, I'm sure, let him defend it. Dr. Zirconium has no problem with booking wrestlers from the NWA. I mean, right in your intro, you have AJ Kazana, currently one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions, and I know Wrecking-Ball Legursky has been there in the past. If any NWA wrestler wants to come wrestle for Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, they're wrestling that same Saturday. The Dog's going to be at the Monmouth County Fair. If they're in early, maybe they should reach out to Dr. Zirconium, and if they give them a good price, maybe they can wrestle part of the Monmouth County Fair too. Intention nudge.
And if not Saturday, I mean Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday too?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days.
Oh, wow.
The 20th up to the 26th, I think.
Okay.
So it's the 21st to the 26th, I think.
Yeah.
I guess I should figure that out before I hype it. But yeah.
All right, let's get through the rest of this. The event that took place on June 6th at Big Bill's Barbecue in Vineland, New Jersey. Dad Bod defeated King Peace and Francisco de la Torre in a handicap match.
Yes. King Peace was originally wrestled Dad Bod not a couple last month actually in May. He was one of Henrik's minions, and he wanted Dad Bod again, but this time he brought some backup with him, and Francisco de la Hoya, Andrade. I don't know, the guy with 1,000 names. No, but seriously, it was a 2-on-1 handicap match. Dad Bob was actually at a disadvantage. Not only was he wrestling 2-on-1, or at least 1.5-on-1, because King Peace is about 105 pounds soaking wet. But it was also about 90 about that time.
Yeah.
And it was definitely hot, and the wind was blowing. But Dad Bod came out victorious and beat both 2-on-1. Dad Bod right now is on a hair in Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. In fact, I know some of the matches. The only 2 have been announced publicly, but I'll announce a couple more here when we talk about the at the end of the night about the July 4th event. So, and Dad Bod's in one of them.
Real quick, is Gabby going to be there on Sunday after at the Mammoth County Fair?
I know Gabby will be booked as one of those days. I don't know what days, honestly. I think she might be done too, but I don't know what days.
Try to get her on Sunday.
I don't think it's Sunday because I think Sunday is pretty well booked up.
Damn it. Okay.
Yes, but maybe you should go if you go on Friday.
Well, I got to check and see what time I come in on Friday. You said it's about an hour away from Philly, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And if you get in early, it doesn't start till like 4:00.
Okay, that's good to know. I probably will get. I think I land in Philly about 5:00, so we'll see. But okay. Then we had the Dog Championship match with Vinny the Fixer taking on Uncle Slam. This one was highly talked about on the interwebs. I saw the promo video from Uncle Slam, and first of all, tell me about Uncle Slam. I don't know much about him. Was he every bit you thought he would be?
He's one half of a tag team called the Liberty Bros, along with Ty Thomas.
Really?
Yes. He has wrestled in dog and tag team matches, and he's done singles. He looks very familiar. The rumor is he was frozen in a time capsule in 1980 and just recently got thawed. He's got some red, white, and blue running through his veins. He's a true patriot. He's an all-American brother. He's a tough guy. Doesn't need a 2x4. He has 2 big meat hooks on each of his hand. He's sitting there, slamming and bamming and slugging and thugging and bugging and thugging and sitting there being an all-American, a true all-American hero. He's not from G.I. Joe, but he's Uncle Slam, and he brought it to Vinny the Fixer. Right now, about that time, he was about 95. And it was every bit of hot at 95. And when the wind was blowing, it felt like you were being hit with a hairdryer.
What's the forecast for Monmouth County on July 25th?
Well, who knows? Honestly, I mean, the only time it wasn't hot with the last year when we did it is when it was torrential downpouring, and we got hit by what felt like a tornado. But
you're really selling that event. Next up, we have the World Women's.
It wasn't nowhere. That was closed then. We were just out there in the rain, but nobody else was.
Next up, we had the World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship. Gabby Ortiz defending against Tiffany Avatar. Tell me about Tiffany Avatar. How was she at this event?
She's very fun, very colorful, very beautiful lady, very talented, very smart, very charismatic. Both of them were more on the babyface side, the hero side. Yeah. But Gabby wanted, Tiffany wanted a shot, and she fought her way and did everything she needed to get that shot. And Gabby just wrestled the night before in, I want to say Detroit, Michigan. Drove hours, got to New Jersey at 5 a.m. and then wrestled at that event, which was probably at that time probably about 1:30 p.m. So she drove from Michigan back to New Jersey. She's originally a Philadelphia native, so she probably drove to Philly and then came to New Jersey, and then I wrestled Tiffany Avatar. Gabby's so popular. She's so talented. You might have saw her around the Monster Factory, and when this sport is very difficult on somebody's psyche. The sport's very difficult on somebody's mental health. And sometimes you just want so much and you get every opportunity and it just things don't go your way and it really grates at you. But Gabby is so deserving of all the positivity that she has, and she's so incredibly talented. The only reason I think that some people don't give her the full chance is she's shorter than some of the wrestling superstars in the area, but she is full dynamite. She is like, that whole thing, big explosions come from small packages. That's
Sure.
Gabby. She is so much talent, so much ability. And if anybody gives her a shot, they will not be disappointed. She is the World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Champion for a reason, and she's been told she can defend that championship at any real wrestling promotion throughout the country. And she asked if she could do such a thing. She wanted to confirm, so you might see her defending that championship anywhere now. But she is a big star, and if anybody gets a shot to book her for the World Wrestling Grand Prix, reach out to Dr. Zakoni and reach out to Gabby, because you will be extremely happy about having her on your card.
I'd be extremely happy to see her on my card.
Yes. It's a card, right?
What? Yes.
I want to verify. I was just making sure.
Then you had Caden Hernandez and Eddie Hawkins taking on the team of Ezra Coleman and Daniel Asensio. Tell me about this one.
It actually wasn't even originally a match. Eddie Hawkins calls himself the president of pro wrestling.
Okay.
And he was out there campaigning and doing a political speech about what he wants to bring and what he wants to change about pro wrestling. And the first thing he did is he wants to get rid of fans like the ones in New Jersey because they don't deserve to see him.
Damn.
And there was a chant where of "Not my president" and impeach Hawkins.
All right.
And 86 Hawkins. There was all kinds of chants for that going right there. So he did endear himself, and then Patch came out, started talking. He didn't dance this time because he was still blowing up from when he danced for his first time coming out. And it was about 106 degrees by that point. And so he decided, they're there and they're in their gear. That he had some kids that he wanted to be part of the card. So he put that match together right then and there. So we saw Eddie Hawkins and his Secret Service, Caden Hernandez, take on the young tag team of Asensio and Coleman. And the kids brought it to him. The kids really brought it to both them. The veteran Hawkins and his bigger, massive, bulky, like a beast in Hernandez. And they really did. They brought everything, and they did use their high flying and their speed and their agility to get the best of them. But at the end, they got caught, and the Hernandez and Hawkins came out victorious.
That takes us obviously to the final match of the evening. A man that's been on this podcast before, Marvelous. He defeated Nick Batty. And Nick Batty is no slouch. I've watched a lot of his matches throughout Dangerous Journal and Wrestling Gladiators, whether it be the WrestleMania events or some of the other events that you've had throughout New Jersey. Tell me about this one, because I know Marvelous was looking for a big victory here, and this kind of sets him up on the top 10.
Yeah, it definitely does. Nick Batty is so incredibly talented, so incredibly charismatic. He's got a personality for days, and so good at making people not like him. And then he's even more impressive inside that ring. When they wrestled at the Highlands Regional High School in Little Lake Harbor, New Jersey, that match was so good, people wanted it again. So that's why that match happened again. But this time it was a main event. And Marvelous again, so much charisma, so much ability, does not get his dues, does not get his flowers. And that match was great, absolutely awesome. The fact is, it was so good. Well, there's a good chance it won't be probably for a little while, but I wouldn't mind coming back for a third time. Marvelous did come out victorious again, but that match was so good. Again, you may see it in the future, hopefully somewhere that's not like 116 degrees.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. That's going to happen again. In fact, both of them will be at the July 4th event that I'll talk about at the end.
Do you want to talk about that now, or you wait till the end?
Let's do it in the end. Give us somebody's if they stay on, and give them a reward or punishment, whatever happens first.
Whatever you want to call it. It's weird. I don't think we're live on TikTok anymore.
I
mean, it's not the end of the world, but all right. Well, anyways, if you're watching on TikTok, sound off in the chat, and if you're not, then I know we're not live. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, now we have new women's tag team champions. The Hex lost the titles in a triple threat tag team match to Kenzie and Kylie Page. It's the first time that the sisters have won tag titles together. Now, Kenzie in the past had won the championship with America's Sweetheart, Ella Envy. She won the titles with friend of the show, Big Mama. And now she's won the tag team titles with her sister, Kylie. Kylie previously had held the titles also with Ella Envy. So now we have the Page sisters finally on the same page, no pun intended, and they are your women's tag team champions. DK, did you watch this match? What did you think of the new champions crowning themselves? And you're muted, so if you want to unmute yourself.
Well, my problem with the match is it was a three-way. My second problem with the match is there was like a big botch about 60 seconds into it or 90 seconds into it. And it was kind of sloppy. But, all that being said, I'm happy the Page sisters won the titles. I feel like that's a good use for them for now.
3 times winning the tag titles, and to win the match with her sister Kylie, like it, just after last week, or not last week, a couple weeks ago when Kylie eliminated Kenzie from the Burke Invitational, it seemed that maybe they weren't going to be, a cohesive unit, that maybe they'd be, wrestling against each other. Cooler heads have prevailed. Their father, Tommy Henry, was involved and got them on the same page. They won the tag titles. And we're about to say something?
You're being punny on the same page.
Yeah. And again, the Hex have been a well-established tag team throughout the NWA. They, too, are a multi-time women's tag team champions. Clara Carter and Haley J, I don't think that they've worked very many matches together as a tag team, so that was kind of the wild card, I guess. I didn't think that they'd be very that's what I'm looking for. I didn't think they would be a cog in this machine, right? I felt like either the Hex were going to retain the titles or the Page sisters would win them. It should be noted that historically, this is the first time in NWA history a pair of siblings held both sets of tag titles with, the Kazana brothers holding the World Tag Team titles and the Page sisters holding the women's tag team titles. And oddly enough, they've actually wrestled against each other once before. So that's also kind of interesting, if you ask me.
Interesting if you mean stupid, I agree.
Sure.
At least the wrestling against each other part.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not a big fan of, intergender wrestling in general. Sometimes it could be okay, but in that particular instance, I just felt it was a way to keep the Kazanas on TV and the Page sisters on TV, but not in an actual match that had real consequence. And I feel like putting the tag titles on the Page sisters also is a way to keep Kenzie away from that women's world title. And I don't think that's, I don't know if that's the goal, but that's what it feels like, because we had Markova win the title. Kenzie didn't get a rematch. And then now we have Tiffany Nieves as champion. And again, Kenzie still hasn't gotten a rematch. And it feels like they're stepping away from Kenzie, at least as a singles champion, and allowing others to kind of dominate that space while she and her sister focus on the tag team titles, which I think that's a good move, because finding a good women's tag team seems to be kind of difficult for the NWA. Whenever they have a successful women's tag team, inevitably they split up, break up, or just leave the company. You can look at The Renegade Twins left the NWA after losing the titles. Ella Envy left shortly after losing the title. Maddie Rankowski, Ren Sinclair left shortly after losing the titles. And even the King Bees left after they lost the titles. So it's kind of a hard proposition to keep, a good solid tag team in the women's division. And if Hex is still around, which measuring by history, I don't know that we can say that that's going to be the case. I hope it is the case. I hope we still have the Hex around. But if they do end up taking a break from the NWA, I feel like the Page sisters will be good champions, but just getting a good tag team for them to square off against. Jaden, what do you think about the Page sisters winning the titles, and what do you think about the prospects of who's next to get an opportunity at those titles?
I'm going to make sure I mention as many times as I can. Traditionally, until Jim Crockett Promotions exploded, a lot of the NWA tag team champions were regional and territorial, but very few of them were actual tag teams.
Okay.
They were all makeshift, or not all, but a good majority of them were makeshift tag teams. And there were two singles wrestlers that were wrestling as a tag team. They might have had some tag team chemistry, maybe like, say, Steamboat and Youngblood, or Kernerdle and Slaughter, but they're generally two singles wrestlers that were in the tag team picture. So I don't have a problem with two random wrestlers being a tag team champions, especially in the women's division, because they don't have enough women, so it's something. I always felt like the Hex only won it so they can get the belts off of TVMA, and then lost it quickly to the Page sisters. I think it was just felt like they felt transitional even before they lost them, and I guess I was correct on that one.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that the Page sisters, because it's the first time. It's special. I'm sure Rick and Scott Steiner or Jack and Jerry Briscoe or any of the brother tag teams, Dory and Terry Funk, if you win a tag team championship with your brother, it means something that's special. Matt and Jeff Hardy, Yvonne and Bubba Ray Dudley, all legitimate brother tag teams. It is special to win it with your sibling.
I don't think legitimate Dudley. I think all the Dudleys were illegitimate.
Well, they were all legitimate children, but they're still brothers, right? There was Dancing with Dudley and Big Dick Dudley and Dudley Dudley and Little Snot Dudley.
The only pure Dudley.
What was that?
The only pure Dudley was Dudley Dudley, because both mom and dad were.
Dad were Dudleys. Yeah, that's true. But still bastards. But yeah, still, it's. I'm sure it's awesome with your sibling to be able to hold tag team championship gold. I wonder if there's ever been a brother-sister intergender tag team champion before.
Don't give Billy any ideas.
We have to look in Mexico.
That's where the majority of the intergender tag team champions are, so you're right. But I think it's a big deal for them. And you know what? They're still around. They're still doing something. Billy's inevitably going to break them up because they're either a tag team. I think that just gives them a reason to break them up because now they're a tag team.
Yeah. You might be onto something there.
Yeah, he has a bit of a pattern.
I'm not really fond of family feuds. I feel like they're all kind of done the same.
I liked it when Richard Dawson was involved, but after that it kind of went downhill.
Well, that is for sure.
I don't know. Steve Harvey makes me laugh.
I guess. I mean, honestly, what makes me laugh is when somebody makes him laugh.
Yeah, that's. You're right. I agree.
A lot more risque now.
Yeah, that's true too.
Where's the wildest place you've made Whoopi? In the butt.
Really, Jay?
That's the joke, right?
Is that a joke or is that is that a confession?
And what I do on my time is my business.
What are you doing with those bananas? Apparently you're not on TikTok enough to know how annoying that song is on half the TikTok videos.
I'm on TikTok a lot, and I think you what you got to do is refresh your algorithm. Whatever you're watching is showing you bananas.
And I don't like bananas either. BANANAS.
They make me sick.
Really? You guys don't like anything I like.
The smell of banana can make me throw up.
I just think they're revolting. I just do not like them at all.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys tonight. Finding a lot out about you guys tonight.
We don't like bananas. We don't like little green baby shit stuff known as avocado.
Man. Whatever reason, we're live on TikTok, but my phone isn't connecting to it, right? So like,
Well, they're missing this great conversation we're having.
yeah, not really.
Obviously, you're causing problems. So,
Well,
Jay.
I identify as the problem, DK, but go ahead.
Jay.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Huh?
What are we talking about?
Well, we just talked about the women's tag team champions. We talked about Alex Misery becoming the new NWA television champion. Earlier in the show, we talked about our boys Alex Taylor and Jeremiah Plunkett being stuck in Canada. However, I just got confirmation they did get on their plane. They are going to make their flight. That's great news for them. And then we also talked about Thrillbilly Silas Mason, your NWA Worlds Heavyweight Champion, taking the title to All Japan Pro Wrestling, and not only winning his first match in All Japan, first time the 10 pounds of gold has been to All Japan Pro Wrestling in the past 2 years, but also we heard him call out Miyahara. So all of these things I think are pretty cool. All of these things are very interesting to me. And, we were, that's where we've been talking. But something you mentioned earlier, and I'm going to give you the floor, is because you pointed out some parallels when it comes to Major League Wrestling and the National Wrestling Alliance. You said you wanted to talk about some of these matches that are coming up. So I'm going to give you the floor and allow you to speak while Jaden and I will reply to your commentary.
Well, actually, Jaden was kind of the one that got me thinking about this. But as I was flipping through YouTube, ran across the MLW show, which I don't know if they actually have a show on any station anywhere anymore, but they are releasing episodes on YouTube.
They're on some kind of station I've never heard of.
And they're further behind than the NWA is currently, because currently the NWA is only about 5 to 6 weeks behind, and they can get down to as low as a month. But I mean, based on what I saw, this show was from like 2 months ago, or maybe even longer. And no, it was longer. It was more like 3 months ago or something like that. But the one thing was, they had a main event for the MLW World Championship, and it was Killer Cross making his first defense, and it ended up being against Matt Riddle. So, who's a recent former Maple Leaf Wrestling MLW World Champion. And both of them are former WWE performers. They never reached any incredibly high level in WWE, but they are known from there. They have a fan base from there, especially Cross, who is working as a face in MLW. Riddle recently turned heel. But I was just thinking, name value wise, if you're out there as an average fan and you're listening to you're just flipping through and see for the MLW World Championship, Killer Cross versus Matt Riddle. And then the recent big match that took place that we don't know the results of, or I don't know the results of, was Thrillbilly Silas Mason, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, versus Kerry Morton, former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. And so what I'm kind of wondering, quality-wise, you you could say all 4 men have talent. But which one do you think is going to draw fans? Which one sounds more exciting? Which one, ooh, I want to see that. And so I'm not the biggest fan of MLW. In fact, having watched that episode, I understand why I'm not the biggest fan of MLW. And Court Bauer, of course, former, I think Jaden told me, former WWE writer.
Yeah.
And his booking of that world title match was very WWE-ish. It ended with being thrown out with Hammerstone interfered. But still, if you're just out there and you're pushing a match, which one do you think is more likely to actually get people interested in talking? And in my view, it would be the 2 former WWE guys. So what can the NWA do to counter that? Or is there anything that can be used to counter that? It seems like Billy has made a decision on the direction of the NWA, not one I disagree with per se, featuring more younger guys, featuring more younger talent, and more homegrown talent. You could argue he carries more homegrown in the NWA. So I just want to get your guys' opinion on that. So Jay, what do you think about that?
I think that MLW has a leg up on the NWA because Matt Riddle, whether you like him or don't like him, has a lot of name recognition. Before he joined the WWE roster, he was one of those internet darlings. He was competing for like Dragon Gate, working at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and he was one of those guys that a lot of the indies were clamoring for. In a weird universe, I saw him as part of a triple threat match down at the Crash in Mexico, and the fans in Mexico were cheering him. They didn't care about his, WWE run. They didn't care about, those allegations that were presented against him. They just liked watching him in the ring. And then for him to be in the ring against Karrion Kross, I think, again, his cachet from the WWE, although has been watered down, maybe even muted from his time in the WWE, I still feel like he has value and brand recognition. I think that would be an easier ticket to sell, putting Matt Riddle and Karrion Kross on the card, as opposed to the NWA putting Thrillbilly or, I know at Hard Times it was Thrillbilly and Kerry Morton. We don't know who Thrillbilly will face at the anniversary show just yet, but I feel like MLW has a leg up because these guys were household names. Maybe not household, maybe that's a little bit too forward, but they were stars on the WWE programming, which I think gives them a lot more cachet than, unfortunately, the World's Heavyweight Champion Silas Mason and whomever they pick for his opponent.
My turn?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Here's how I'm going to break this down. If this was a random independent show and you're just going on the poster, without a shadow of a doubt, Killer Kross and Scarlett and Matt Riddle would mean more. I'm going to add Scarlett because she is part of this equation and she is part of the package. And on a poster, Scarlett will grab attention. So again, I'm just talking about a random poster that's at some high school or VFW or barbecue place. That's where the advantage goes. Where the NWA can do better, and I don't know if they will, they really need to take advantage more of every asset that they have. That television show on Sinclair is able to be seen by a lot of people for free. Don't discount over-the-air broadcasting. Don't discount that at all. So, and not only that, but you can watch it on their the Comet TV show afterwards. If I remember, they're on. You can watch them on Roku. You can watch them on YouTube TV. You can watch them on Apple TV. All throughout, there's ways you don't have to just watch it through with the Roku for the Comet app and on Comet TV. But it's still ways that can be seen. The advantage too, in my opinion, that MLW has is they're on YouTube. So if you're going to watch it online, that's the best way to watch it. But they also have that station where they're going to be broadcasting there that I've never ever heard of in my life and didn't know anything existed. So, but they're on that too. But where the advantage of if NWA can do what I need them to do, or what they should be doing, or what is to the best interest, there could be a really good build-up. I tell people all the time, you can make any match if you have talent and good promotion. Any match can seem like the biggest match ever. So you may not be able to draw them on the poster, but you could draw them on the promos. You could draw them on the video packages. You could draw them on the storylines. If you do it right, you can make the Kerry Morton versus Silas Mason match sound bigger and better than ever. This is where a 10 pounds of gold would really come in handy, especially against, with Silas's stuff in Japan and this feud. That's where it'll really come in handy, in my opinion, is they need that actual proper build-up. HBO for years used to have boxing, and I didn't care who was on the boxing fight, even though there's always the big stars. It was always a good fight I wanted to see. The way that HBO After Dark and HBO, the series they did to promote all their big boxing fights, made me want to watch every single fight that they had during that time. I cared about Ricky Hatton because of the way they built him up on that. And I knew who Floyd Mayweather is because he was a big star, and Oscar De La Hoya Jr. and all the big stars that were boxing, but they really made me care about those fights because of the way the build-up. If the NWA can do that again with a 10 Pounds of Gold series, with their television, with promos, with video packaging, they have a great ability to make this match feel special between the history of them. Kerry, I know you don't like him, but we've seen him when he wants to be. He can be a charismatic dick. And he can make it where you really want to see him get beat up. And Thrillbilly can talk people in the door if he was given the right material and the right promo and the right direction. He could talk people into an ass in every one of those 18 inches of chair out there. So, okay, Jay?
No, you finish your thought.
So I think where the NWA's advantage is, if the NWA wants to make that match important, they need to take advantage of every single bit of technology and media and social media, television, radio, smoke signals, whatever they can to get that match importance, because I think it can be built up. Because, yes, Killer Cross, Scarlett, and Matthew Riddle have the poster appeal, but I really don't give a crap about Matt Riddle. I haven't in a long time. He just, somebody just does not catch my interest. Yeah, that is true. He was guys, to make sure, especially with June being Mental Health Month for Men, make sure you reach out to your peeps and make sure they're always doing okay. But the ability that the NWA has with the two wrestlers involved and a storyline behind it, they can really make that match more important. See, the NWA has some good talent and some veterans, but they really could use a mix of just people, even if it's like short term, coming in and out to be able to keep the company fresh and bring in new faces and new ideas. Because now they have the ability to be seen, where I think a Killer Cross, if he's not signed exclusively for MLW, might be somebody who's an asset, and anybody else who might be able to grab that and build them up, build them up. Bruno Sammartino them. Build them up, have them beat somebody to get a shot, and then lose against Thrillbilly, and then have them put over people on the way out.
Our friend of the show, Sean Mega, pointed out that if they just tell good stories, Morton Silas has potential, but it seems like the NWA is not putting force behind it.
Yeah, and a part of it is because of their scheduling. The way their television is scheduled, the way their events are scheduled. This is where maybe if they recorded every 2 weeks and to record 2 weeks of 2-hour programs for comment and maybe 2 half-hour segments on YouTube, they could really build into that and get a lot more out of it.
It would make it so much better because, like you said, I think the biggest problem right now is, for a while there, they weren't even giving us card information for the next event. Like, we had no idea what was happening at Crockett Cup, except for that we knew that the Crockett Cup tournament was happening, but we didn't have title matches. We didn't, and the story from the NWA is like, hey, watch the content will keep providing. But like, if I'm somebody who wants to go to the live event, I like to know what I'm going to go see. If I'm going to pay for a ticket, obviously at the 78th anniversary show, I'm putting a lot of faith that the NWA is going to give me a good card, but I don't know that for certain. I didn't know that last year. I mean, we knew Natty Neihart was going to be there. We knew that Tom was going to defend the title against Rhino and Colby Carino. Actually, I guess that's last year's Crockett Cup, excuse me. But we didn't know the whole card. And similarly, we won't know the whole card for this year's anniversary show at the 2300 Arena. That's the next event that they're building up for. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if I'm going to an event and I'm paying for a ticket, I kind of want to know what's happening. But the TV is so far behind that you're playing catch-up this whole time. So, I mean, Hard Times just happened on June 6th, but we probably won't realistically see that footage until closer to August. And if that's the case, then the signature live event, the 78th anniversary show, that's happening in late July. We probably won't see that until September. And I feel like that is such a delay on the time. And so there could be build setting up this Hard Times match, but we don't know because it's already happened. The match already took place and we didn't see the build for it. And maybe the build will come on television building up to it. I mean, they did a promo today, on Saturday with Kerry Morton calling out Throwbilly and saying that his dad is just doing what was best for business, and now he's doing what's best for business, and that he is the face of the NWA and the future of the NWA and all that good stuff. And it was an okay promo, but like, that promo isn't going to get me to buy a ticket. And of course, the show's already happened. So like, your promos aren't even impacting what's happening on your live events. So your live events are not being impacted by what's happening on TV. You're not being able to sell these matches because you're so far behind. And the whole point of TV initially was to build for live events, and the NWA has been only focused on TV. The idea of live events has kind of been not something that is of as importance as the television. So the whole time we're just kind of, the match build doesn't really work. And the same thing with MLW. I know that they shot so much wrestling. There's so much footage in the can. They probably don't even have to tape for the rest of the year and still have enough for a weekly show. That, I think, long term, that's going to hurt them, because who wants to see something that happened 6 months ago? Who wants to watch something that's already happened? And especially if you're a fan that likes to attend live events, these delayed processes of getting the show on TV is going to eventually hurt them. Luthez says, I believe it's the other than wrestling stuff they produce that holds up the timeline. You might be onto something. I honestly feel like they filmed content. They don't want to waste it, right? They don't want to delay and they don't want to waste the footage that they already shot. So they're not going to, dump that stuff on YouTube or something when they could still have full episodes of Power. And I think that's very short-sighted, because although it's great to have footage in the can, we're watching matches from months ago. And I don't think that that's the best way to sell your product. And, you could have your 2 or 3 main storylines and filter it through the stuff that's in the can, and you could still edit it in a way that would make sense, but they haven't done that. And Sean Mega also wants to point out that they already announced that it's going to be Morton versus Carino at the anniversary show, which that's fine. But, like, again, who's going to face Thurbilly Silas Mason at the anniversary show?
Well, okay, let's say I don't know the NWA is behind, or I don't.
Is there any way you could get closer to the microphone?
Maybe. Can you hear me?
It's very hard to hear you. I hear more background noise than I hear you.
It's odd. There's not really any background. But anyway, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Actually, it's getting quieter.
Hold on.
James H. Jackson points out if a title change happens at a signature live event, it didn't happen until we see it on TV. So you have that awkward situation where the former champ still has to awkwardly defend up until we see it on TV, and that is kind of awkward. They've done that before. And Luthez says, "I find that unacceptable." I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, this ain't 1976 anymore where nobody knows this stuff.
Hello.
Hey, DK.
Can you hear me any better?
Yeah.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's weird. I turned noise suppression on and back off. Maybe that worked. No, but what I was saying is, for a minute, let's take care of the being behind. Let's just look at what they're putting on TV. Maybe that's the only thing I watch. I don't really keep up with internet wrestling stuff, so I just watch on what's on TV. They don't have any shows near me. I'm in Hastings, Nebraska, so I'm not going to go to any live shows. Even on the shows, are they doing a good enough job of putting over this title match? Because although Thurbilly has gone on about the braille and the knife in his back and all that, I'm not feeling it, dog. Listening to Kerry's promo, it was just almost like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Dad told me to do it, so I did it. Okay, you can't think for yourself. Good. I'm glad to know that. Dad wants what's best for business. What was best for business? What? Me and Brian Idle are friends now or something? I don't know what's going on. And it's like, I don't feel like, even if I was ignorant of everything else, that they're doing anything to get me excited about this. Now, they still have 3 or 4 episodes to go, but I don't know. But I feel like I should be more emotionally invested at this point. Jaden, is that a fair criticism?
I think that's a very fair criticism. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this. I like the parts more than I like the group when it came to the Southern Six. And they never clicked as a trio for me. Maybe in real life they click. Maybe they in Australia they clicked, but I never felt the Southern Six really click. And they had a slightly, like a short period of time where they started to, right about the time they were breaking them up. But it just always felt like, I don't know. They didn't. I still think that they went with the fact that they're all friends and they came up with this gimmick and they put them together, but I don't think they should have been. I don't mind Taylor and Morton as much because they felt more like a tag team, but they never really felt cohesive. They didn't feel like brothers like the Freebirds. They just felt like they were 3 guys that would call themselves the Southern Six. So maybe that's part of it. And they teased it for so long that somebody was turning on somebody that when it finally happened, it's like, okay, finally it happened. Yay, let's go on to something else. I didn't really care that much too. So that may be also part of it. is it's just like it was 2 years. I felt like they were breaking them up. So they felt like they were breaking them up since they were first together.
At least, I mean, it's been at least over a year because I remember Kerry Morton causing about over a year and a half. Kerry Morton causing Silas to lose in the first round of the Jack Stain tournament. And so, and I don't even feel like that was the first hint of dissension, but that was over a year ago.
Sean Mega said that the Southern Sixth worked better in JCW as a group. And, that could be true too. I mean, you have two different people telling stories. Just because they're using the same characters doesn't mean that it's going to be cohesive or work the same. I do feel like it's a missed opportunity. I feel like the NWA should have done more with the Southern Six. I tend to disagree with you guys, and maybe it's because I'm too close, right? Maybe it's because I have an affinity for these guys too much. Like I like Kerry Morton, I like Alex Taylor, and I like Thrillbilly Silas Mason. I felt that they worked really well as a cohesive unit, and I felt like there was chemistry there. Clearly, they could have been better, but I don't feel like it was devoid of that cohesion. It was interesting when there was that time when the Crockett Cup a couple of years ago, the 2024, DK and myself kind of figured it was going to be Kerry Morton and Thrillbilly in the Crockett Cup. I didn't think Alex Taylor was going to be actually in the match. And then it ended up being Taylor and Morton, and they ended up winning the whole thing. And then, when Taylor was not there and Kerry Morton had to defend the U.S. tag titles by himself, I always kind of thought like, well, the Freebird rule literally is the Southern Six. Like, why not have Silas Mason in there working with Kerry Morton to defend those U.S. tag titles? But clearly, they had the NWA kind of neutered the group in that sense, in that they weren't going to allow Silas Mason to be defending the U.S. tag titles with Kerry. So yeah, I mean, I do understand where you're coming from on that, DK, for sure.
Yeah, you were talking about how you were trying to argue that you find them as cohesive units, and then you're giving examples of where they weren't.
Sure. James H. Jackson says, DK, you sound like you're in an airplane ready to take off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having some issues. My laptop's also starting to get hot, so I might just back out.
Sounds like you're going to take off.
Yeah, so you're not wrong. All right. I'll talk to you all next week. We'll let Jaden sell his next, what do you call it?
Event?
Event. Yes, event. Very good.
All right. Well, take care, DK. We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Take care of your laptop and your airplane.
I gave him the boot. Sorry.
What are you, Canadian?
That's what I get told on the internet, that I'm Canadian.
That's true. I forgot.
Real quick, before you get into the next Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiator event, our good friend Noob says, what are your thoughts on Tiffany Nieves as NWA Women's Champion? Do you think her reign will be a transitional title run? Would you like to answer that?
I think that right now the hottest female for momentum was Tiffany Nieves, and I think they capitalized on that. I was a little, not much, and I'm sorry, Noob, but I was a little underwhelmed with Narkova's reign. I don't think she had she had some good opponents, like the Blackheart and others, but I just always felt like they were matches. They weren't opponents. They weren't challengers. What was that?
It wasn't a story.
It was just you could have if it was built up correctly, and this is part of the NWA with their the way they schedule and the way they do their television, where they're wasting time on grapey grape juice skits.
Yeah.
Instead of actually using that time to build up these matches and make them feel like they're important. The NWA has not in a while done a good job of making any match feel important. We hype it up, I think, more than that. So, and again, they wasted so much time on other things instead of using that time for that's actually productive.
Yeah.
But it just felt like she had opponents. She didn't feel like. I mean, she had people she was wrestling, but they didn't feel like they were contenders. They were challengers. They were real opponents. It just felt like they were just people she was defending against. The one that I think that was built up most was the vampire chick.
Oh yeah, Serena Vale.
Yeah, I think that was the one they did the most to actually build up. So the Nieves had some momentum despite the NWA's crappy skits. She felt like she was bigger because of TVMA. She felt like she hit her stride in the NWA and she found her gimmick and was able to have her own voice, and it felt cool, and it felt like she was the one that's had the most television time used productively and able to make herself get over. And I think they're just taking advantage of that. And that's great. I like her as champion. Now she needs some good, well-built matches. You can do the opponent from the invading territory with the big name. You still have to make it build up. You have to just having a big name itself isn't enough. You have to build up and make it feel important.
I think where they got it wrong is Markova was positioned as a baby face, and I don't feel like Markova is a face. I feel like she's heel. She was heel for most of her run in the NWA. She finally gets the title off of Kenzie, and then she becomes a baby face. And I feel like, number one, there was no real storyline for that switch either. It just kind of happened. In that feud with Camille, she was the heel. Camille was the baby face. In fact, Camille's babyface run also was kind of out of nowhere because the whole time she was a heel, and then she wins the title, has a couple of defenses, and then all of a sudden transitions to a babyface without really any explanation as the reason why. The same thing with Markova. They never really gave her a good storyline going into any of this. The match with Giselle Shaw, fine, that's great, but again, what was the story? Her rationale for having that match with Giselle Shaw was just because she thought she'd have a good match with her. Like, that's not a way to book a storyline. It should have been Giselle Shaw came to prove to Markova that she's the superior athlete and she's going to take that belt. And you needed to make one of them a heel in that situation, and they didn't. And then you have Tiffany Nieves, who's probably one of the top heels in the company right now, and they have kept positioning her in that way. She's been the heel. Hell, she turned on her tag team partner because she felt like the tag team partner wasn't carrying her own weight. She sacrificed the tag titles because she knew she was going on to bigger and better as the TV champion. So the whole situation, to me, like, I feel like there's still value in Markova, but they didn't explain her face turn. They never gave her a good story, right? And so she never had the opportunity to grow as a character. Now, when obviously she's a face now, she's feuding with Tiffany Nieves. I don't think they've seen the last of each other. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that title switch at least once or twice more. But you haven't built a story for it. Now, the rivalry between Tiffany Nieves and Markova goes back to Dothan, Alabama and all that good stuff. But still, in the current, and Jane, you pointed this out, once they debuted on the new network, once they got to Comet, like this is a whole new audience, and they're not familiar with this talent. There should have, I don't want to say a reboot, but they should have done a little bit better of a job of explaining who some of these characters were and kind of giving us maybe some vignettes, not those skits, but vignettes to introduce the character, to give us a little bit of a background, at least for that way, for the new audience to see who these talents are, and then kind of be like, oh, okay, she's hot, I'm going to cheer for her because she's a good guy. She's hot, but she's also a jerk, so I'm going to boo her. Give me something, right? You didn't give me anything. And you just let the fans kind of pick and choose who to cheer for without really giving any compelling storylines. And it's the whole going back to the Dave Lagana, there's not black, there's not white, there's just varying shades of gray. And I don't feel like that's compelling TV. I feel like that's kind of lazy booking. Because if you can give me, DK says it all the time, and I'm going to butcher it, but if you can give me a reason to cheer and a reason to boo, I'm going to be more invested in that match. And that's, the NWA really hasn't done that with the women's division. Half the time they're cheering, the Page sisters are baby faces in Tampa and heels everywhere else. It's hard to kind of keep up with any of it.
And it is true. And that's part of the problem with the NWA has is they don't utilize all of their assets to their best, both talent wise and their actual assets of social media and television and print ad and Billy Corgan. Even if anybody, you think they would utilize Billy Corgan at his best, and they actually completely counteract any ability he has to do something for the company often. And I don't understand.
Real quick, James H. Jackson says that he wished that Markova would have had a manager to speak for her. I don't think managers don't really work with baby faces either. Tell me the last time you had a baby face manager.
Jimmy Hart.
When?
Whenever Jimmy Hart managed Hulk Hogan.
Okay, that's like 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's been in. He was the last babyface manager that had any ability to add to his star, even if that star was Hulk Hogan and even Brutus Beefcake. But at least he was able to do something. Of course, then they turn him heel. But Jimmy Hart was more useful as a heel anyway, I will say.
Yeah, I think so too. But all that being said,
Jimmy Hart lives in Florida, though.
Well, if they were smart, they might give him a phone call, right? But like again, the referee that you had at your shows and
events was Jim Olino.
Yeah, he's in Florida too.
Yeah,
and that's. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to use everyone from the past, but having people who have been connected to the history of pro wrestling, I feel like is a beneficial resource. You might as well do something with that,
Gary Michael Capetta.
He's in Florida too, right?
He's in Florida also. Yeah.
See, you could be doing something with these guys, and instead, and I'm not trying to devalue what the NWA has, and I'm not saying that you have to bring in everybody from the past, but like bring in somebody, Noob went on to say that now Gianna Capri is in the WWE at Evolve, and she's in an entertaining story with Ava Rune, and Gianna's feud with Ava is more entertaining than Tiffany's feud with Natalia. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Double D took my quote and he's running with it. He says, she's hot, but she's a jerk, so I'm going to cheer for her. I'm not going to live that one down. Noob says Markova's over like Rover, and Double D says especially Russia, Noob. So yeah, I mean, look, I feel like they could have done more with Markova. They didn't. It is what it is. I don't think that's the end of it. I think we'll see more, but until that happens, I still feel like there's more story to be told. But until the NWA gets serious about it, it's like Jaden said earlier, we're hyping up things more than they are. But speaking of hyping things up,
real quick before you did that, I did see the video hyping that our NWA national champion has put out there with you in the frame talking about the NWA, and I want to give you some props on that because that's actually I saw it on both TikTok and Instagram, and it's gotten a lot of play and a lot of people are talking positively about it.
Which one was that one? Tell me about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
The NWA national champion, I can't think of his name now.
Mike Mondo,
yeah. He recently put on TikTok some of the highlight talking about some of the things where you can see the NWA and about it growing and everything. And it was from an interview with you. And I saw it both on TikTok and Instagram recently. And it's got a lot of positivity and a lot of views on it. So I will share it to you next time I see it. But it came up naturally, I guess, because of my association with you, but on both the dog TikTok and the dog Instagram, looking for things for content.
Oh, I wish I'd have known.
But I will send it to you so you can share it.
Oh, great. Yeah.
At that Alliance Guys Buzz.
And again, Mike Mondo is fantastic. You know, he's great at what he's doing. The storyline again isn't really there for him either. You know, like, yes, we know that the wrestling machines can be as deadly as a tag team as they can be as singles competitors, but they haven't really put him into a storyline. You know, Pope and Mims have a story brewing, and they hinted at it with these masked guys that are now working with them. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with them and with Carnage from what was that
Force
team
Trauma.
name? Yeah.
Blunt Force Trauma. Yeah, we all apparently have brain damage today.
Yeah, it's been a long day. So we don't there isn't a storyline right there. I mean, right now, if you look at the NWA, what storylines are available? We know the Carrie and Silas, right? We got that one. What else? The Slime Balls and Carson Drake, they hate each other. You know, there isn't really a storyline involving Mike Mondo. There isn't. I mean, I guess they're starting to build to it with him and Brian Idol, but even that has just happened as of late. It's, you know, I feel like they should be doing more with that. But
what was Brian Idol doing crying in that airport, by the way?
That was, you popped them. You popped them good. They were happy with that one.
Yeah, I just randomly say stuff, and that's why I'm funny. People think I'm being funny. I'm just an asshole.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to tell people that. They just don't listen to me. But speaking of transitions, you have an event with Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators coming up just in a few weeks in the month of July.
I think.
What's that?
On July 4th, Independence Day, the 250th celebration of this country, Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators will present the All-American Bash. It's going to be at the Tim Shannon Sports Complex in Millville, New Jersey. And the main event, double main event, the first main event will be for the World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship, as the strong, powerful Latina baddie in Gabby Ortiz will defend against WWID prospect Sloane Jacobs. They are friends in real life, and they are frenemies inside that ring, and that's going to be a match you do not want to miss. The World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship, the toughest challenger to date for Gabby Ortiz, as she will take on WWE ID prospect Sloane Jacobs. Unfortunately, as much as I wish she was, Sloane won't be having her good friend Nikita Lyons there.
That would draw a crowd.
I wish. But no, that match is going to be really, really good, and I look forward to it. Anybody who's going to be there, that's enough for you to come. You should pay to see that match, and it's going to be free. So instead of paying to see that match, come to the celebration. Come see their parade, which we're going to try to be part of. Come see the free wrestling action from 6 to 9 p.m., and then see that main event, and then stay for fireworks. So that's just one of the double main event. Oh, yeah, and that's just it. One match right there. Sloane Jacobs also worked for NXT for a while. Monster Factory graduate. Was part of that Monster Factory documentary. So incredibly talented. Has an amazing look. So marketable. So much personality. So good in the ring. And then Gabby Ortiz, like I tell Jay all the time, she's a strong, powerful Latina baddie. And I hyped her up earlier, so that match, you can come for free and bring your own chair. And when you get on that chair, you can sit on the entire chair, but you're only going to need the edge. Tried to make that work somehow.
you were going for it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to have Dr. Lawrence Zirconium and speak to Gabby, and we could definitely make time for her on the podcast.
If it's plausible, I'm working on both Gabby and Sloane for you, if that is something we're allowed to do.
Cool.
But that's not all. The dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Championship will be on the line. This will be Vinny the Fixer's 21st defense as he takes on the, yeah, I know, right? As he takes on the incomparable, the incredibly talented, the charismatic, the indomitable spirit that he is, Mike Z. Mike Z, you might have seen him from some matches from like Rowan University and the Max Pitt Sports Center. Again, so good in the ring. That match is going to be, you're going to want to see it. It's the knockout power of Vinny the Fixer versus the unorthodox high-flying style of Mike Z, and it's for the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Championship. Is this the challenger that's going to take that championship away from Vinny the Fixer, or are we going to hear about Vinny the Fixer's 21st successful defense? You have to be there in person to find out before anybody else. And those are just the 2 announced matches. I have some matches that haven't been announced yet, and I'm not allowed to tell them, but I'm going to do it anyway. What are they going to do? Fire me? I basically make sure that place is successful. Everything that's great comes from Douglas because of me.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I need my flowers too. But the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Alliance Championship will also be on the line as champion Big Billy Gold, who is not a walking billboard no matter what anybody else tries to say. Will be defending the Mawa Championship against the Henrique. We were just talking about the Henrique, and he's on a bit of a streak in both Mawa and Dog, and really putting himself out there to climb up that ladder. He recently cracked the top 10 at Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, actually knocking Big Billy Gold out of that slot.
Oh.
So now it's Big Billy Gold and defending that Mawa Championship against the Henrique. Our sister promotion, Mawa, wanted to make sure that this event was as big as possible. So we have that match added just for you guys. And again, this is exclusive. This has not been announced, won't be announced publicly till Monday. But the people here listening on this podcast get to find out before anybody else. Also, I'm not supposed to tell this one either. This one's going to get me in trouble. But we were talking about how talented and how great Nick Bati was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be taking on Ezra Coleman, nice young high-flying talent. And he actually looks up to Nick Bati. So this is kind of like this, you never meet your heroes, I guess. But Nick Bati versus Ezra Coleman at this event. Marvelous will also be in action, and he will be taking on Connor Schaefer. So this is a big match for Connor, and talking about being on a roll and being on a streak since he had his Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Championship match against Vinny the Fixer. Marvelous has not lost on Dog since then. In fact, the only 2 times Marvelous has lost, he's lost 3 times. No, I'm sorry, 2 times. And one was against Vinny the Fixer, and then the other one was the very first match against Adam Chandler. So this is a big deal for Connor. He's going to prove that he needs to beat Marvelous to move into the rankings and move into the upper echelon. And Marvelous, is this possibly another challenger that he can showcase his skills and work his way up the ladder in Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiator. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot. And Dad Bod will be taking on the president of pro wrestling, Eddie Hawkins. So it's Dad Bod versus the president, and that match is also going to be there. Besides all that, don't forget we have the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Tag Team Champions Primal Fear will be defending their championships on this card. It's going to go from 6 to 9 p.m. It's free as part of the festival. There's going to be live music. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be games. There's going to be vendors. Before the event starts, there's going to be a parade. And then after the wrestling event, after the end of the night, after 9 p.m., fireworks. This is all part of the Millville celebration for the Independence Day, 4th of July. And then besides all of that, you get to see live Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators action for when Dog presents the All-American Bash.
And will this be released on TikTok or YouTube, or how else can we watch this?
It will be recorded, just like the last event, which will assume. Oh, by the way, stay tuned to the TikToks. Not to TikTok, to to YouTube because we're going to slowly be leaking out some of those matches to help hype this event. We'll be showing matches that happen at Bill's Barbecue, at Big Bill's Barbecue Bash. So that's going to show up on YouTube soon. I believe, if everything goes right, we'll have at least 2 matches, maybe 3, come out on Monday, or at least Monday or Tuesday, or like early this week, and then they'll be trickled out throughout the next couple of weeks to help build anticipation and build some excitement toward the free event, Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. There's going to be 4 championships on the line: 1 WWGP, 2 Dog, and 1 Mawa.
That's awesome. And that's all taking place on the 4th of July. Free event.
Free event for the freedom of our country.
God bless America. God bless Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. And God bless the Alliance guys.
Sure.
Double D likes the beard tonight. Thanks, D. I had it trimmed up a little bit more than usual. All right. That's going to do it for us for this week. Sorry if we seemed a little rusty. It's been a while, but we're happy to be back with you guys. We'll be back next Thursday. Rick Del Santo is out on assignment. He won't be back until July, which is only a couple weeks away. So we'll see Rick in a couple of weeks. But until next time, for DKM, for Jaden, and myself, J Cal, we are the Alliance guys, and we'll see you at the matches. Good night now. Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance Blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance.